Welcome, weary traveller, do come in, put your feet up, relax by the fire, and divert your gaze, as today I tell you the tale of Medusa. Hello, and welcome to Beer Lore, where we explore the stories, myths, objects or events that inspire the names that appear on all our beers. Today we're looking at another Aldi beer, and this one's named after a famous monster from ancient Greek mythology, Medusa. So, as always, let's talk about who Medusa was before seeing if this beer named after her lives up to her name. Now, Medusa was a monster and was the daughter of two marine deities called Phorcus and Keto, who had basically had a lot of monstrous children. Medusa was one of three daughters of this couple, and her and her two sisters were described as having wings and having snakes in the place of hair, as well as having a hatred of humans. Later myths have Medusa being portrayed as a beautiful woman who was transformed by the goddess Athena into this hideous monster after the god Poseidon did some awful things with her in her temple. But originally she was born a monster through the union of gods, and this idea of a beautiful lady didn't turn up until much later. One thing that all the myths agree on is that Medusa was a snake-haired lady who could turn anyone to stone with her gaze. She was finally killed by the Greek hero Perseus, who, with the help of the gods giving him various MacGuffins, was able to behead Medusa for King Polydectes. Now the reason for Perseus killing Medusa is pretty creepy. The king, Polydectes, wanted to marry his mum, and Perseus stood in the way of that. The king came up with a phony engagement to another lady and demanded gifts off everyone, and when Perseus didn't bring any, the king agreed that only the head of Medusa would suffice as a suitable gift. Now, with the help of Athena, Perseus defeated the Gorgon, who spawned two flying horses upon her death, one of which you may have heard of, Pegasus. When Perseus returned to the king, he discovered that he'd been mistreating his mum, and when he demanded the head of the Gorgon, Perseus showed it to the king, and the gaze of Medusa turned the king and his court to stone. So be careful what you ask for, and don't mess with the Greek hero's mum. So onto the beer itself. Medusa is brewed by the Harper's Brewing Company for Aldi, and is described as a ruby red ale. On the label we can see the portrayal of the beastie, and true to form, it's a lady with snake hair, the hair being red to denote the ruby colour of the beer. It weighs in at 5%, and unlike other beers, there's no blurb on the back, it's just a description and some food pairing options. But does it match up? Well, Medusa lived in caves and turned people to stone, so this dark ale definitely portrays that aspect of her. Given as well that her blood spawned two famous flying horses, a ruby ale also plays into this. Now the beer itself tastes earthy, with hints of coffee and chocolate, and so I suppose it's a good representation of a beastie that lives in dark caves and could turn you to stone. So, question for this episode, what's your favourite Greek myth? Does it have a beer named after it? Why not leave a comment and let's get some discussion started. If you love talking about weird myths, legends and theology over a beer, then why not click on my face at the end of this to subscribe, or click on one of the two vids that appear to learn more. But until next time, weary travellers, go grab yourself a drink, keep asking those questions, and stay away from snake-haired ladies.